Aristotle once said, "It's my party and I'll cry if I want to."
Well, you know what, Aristotle? In my party, you're gonna cry with laughter. Because today we're looking at the best party game that fits into your pocket, the Shut Up and Sit Down Nonsense Box.
And its slightly bigger but still pocket-enabled sibling, the Shut Up and Sit Down Nonsense Box,
which houses both versions. This video is part 2 of the Pocket Board Game series, a 6-video collection celebrating the best board games with the smallest footprint. In part 1, we showed you Sprawlopolis, a tremendous 18-card game about building and demolishing cities.
It's a great video, it has a song in it, you should check it out.
But right now, it's time to boogie.
Does anyone in this club want to play a game of Monikers?
It's a portable party. Put it in your pocket. It's a box of fun. Put it in your pocket. Hurry up, let's go.
Put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket.
Just slide it in.
Back to serious nonsense. If you're into board games, then Shut Up and Sit Down really needs no introduction. This ensemble of board game reviewers were pivotal in changing the way we perceive what board game reviews are, subverting them from a dry rules tutorial to a wet snap of exuberance for the medium. Today, their cast has 4 members: Quinns, Ava, Matt, and Matt's stunt double. But did you know that their name actually comes from a popular royalty-free music website called bensound.com? Let me demonstrate.
Shut up and sit down.
The Shut-Ups and our own channel have crossed paths many times. After all, not only have we ourselves appeared in many SUSD videos, but we also made a documentary about the convention Shucks, and we run a weekly D&D campaign with a former Shut-Up, Paul Dean. There's no way that we can divorce the pleasant feelings that we have for Shut Up and Sit Down from this review, and we thought you should know that. Now that we covered what SUSD is, we can talk about the nonsense. The Nonsense Box is not just a branded game, it's a branded game standalone expansion to the party game Monikers, which itself is an offshoot of other similar party games, which of course brings us to the question, what exactly is a party?
I'm glad you asked. The Oxford Dictionary defines party as a gathering of people where hallucinogenic substances are taken in copious quantities, frequently resulting in an all-out brawl, the victor of which gets to found their own religion.
Are you sure that that's the right dictionary?
Yes, it's by Mr. Randy Oxford himself. Like all good party games, Monikers starts with charades. Before you begin, you'll whip out a bunch of random cards from the box, the number of which you can agree on before you start playing, shuffle them and split yourselves into 2 teams. Each team will then play a round of charades with one person leading the team and the others guessing. The objective is to go through this entire deck, divvying up the cards that your team guess correctly. But, of course, there is a timer, and as soon as the timer runs out, the other team will steal your turn. Unlike charades, you're not forced into miming just yet. Each time you're giving a clue, you can use words, and you can use as many words as you like. And the final twist is that the words you're guessing are utter nonsense. When your team guesses a word or phrase, they get to keep the card, and at the end of the round will score as many points as are written on it. Here's an example.
So it's like wobbly
Banana,
substance.
jelly,
no, yes,
ice
but it's
cream.
on a receptacle.
A jelly mould.
No, like where you eat food off of.
Plate.
Yes. Now
Jelly
say,
on a plate.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Right. So it's like what you walk on, right?
Grass.
No, in the house.
Carpet.
But it's like a blaze.
Blaze.
Yeah.
Fire carpet.
No. Now on your skin.
Why would I? What? Coals.
No, like it's a condition
Eczema.
from rubbing.
Burn. Carpet burn.
Yes. Okay. What you like do, but with multiple
Telephone.
people.
Phone call. Skype.
No, multiple
Group
people.
Chat.
Close.
Group call.
Now we're in a board game convention or a gathering of many people. People have gathered together. It's like a thing. It has a name.
Auditorium.
No, it has the
Lecture.
Event has a name, right? Like where people go to discuss things. Professionals go to discuss things. Oh my god. Pears are like that. Pears are like that.
Pear?
Pears. A type
Like
of
Pear
pear.
Sylvester?
No, pears. Pears.
Conference.
Yes. What? Now the whole
Conference
thing.
pairs.
No. No.
Conference call.
Yes. Oh no.
Charades is a classic for a reason, despite millennia of family gatherings ruined by your mum's inability to guess that tss is a hot iron. But this is not your mother's charades, this is Monica's. Unless your mum's name is Monica, in which case this is your mum's charades. Anyway, Monica's has a second round.
My favourite way to teach Monicas to a group of people who've never played it before is to teach it piecemeal, telling them the rules for each round just before it starts. Because when you tell them that now they must guess the same words again, but this time they can only give one word as the clue, the expression on their face, the surprise shock at the twist, and yet somehow also delight is priceless. How would you ever be able to guess the phrase, I don't know, accidentally publishing an obituary from a single word clue? Well, the answer is you just sort of can.
Wobble.
Jelly on a plate.
Business.
A conference call? Hey!
Ouch.
Carpet burn. The amazing thing about Monica's is that it nests itself comfortably into that zone of something you didn't think your brain was capable of. And yet, it is. It's uncanny, charming, and ultimately satisfying. And in no other game has someone said the word meat to me, immediately followed by me yelling, Kevin Bacon's bacon, with a smirk on my face that says, this man is winning.
By the time round 2 is done, you will have gone through every word in the entire stack a minimum of twice. And if Monica's ended there, I'd be pretty happy. I laughed again, and I laughed even perhaps a third time. But Monica says, no, 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 and amps it up once again. And when you play the third round, you're only allowed to mime. Carpet burn.
Yes.
Cubism. Speakerphone, sorry. Because you were like... Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, conference call. Jelly on a plate. Haggis. That was awful.
I know. I didn't realize halfway.
I don't remember there being a trumpet in this.
I didn't know how to do bagpipes.
I was like, is this another hold music? And so the same thing happens again. Your brain is telling you, nah, this isn't possible. But then you realise that not only is it possible, but you are all crying with laughter at the incredulousness. If the first round was a warm-up and the second round a fun ride, this is just a farce, but one where you are all laughing together. I can't recommend Monica's enough. It's simple enough to teach to your grandma and ridiculous enough that it'll win over the cool kids. And now why don't I let Efka tell you why the Nonsense Box is the best version of this game out there.
Party games with jokes written on cards get a lot of flack in this hobby. They're the equivalent of canned laughter, right? It's not you being clever, it's just something that's written on the card that's making you feel clever. Well, thank goodness, because in a game like Monica's, I'll take a joke written on a card over something my friends wrote down any day. It's worth noting here that Monica's isn't even the original incarnation of this game. Another published form is called Time's Up that predates Monica's, and even that is pretty much just a copy of a parlor game called The Celebrity Game. In The Celebrity Game, everyone playing just writes down some famous people or things from any other pre-agreed upon topic on a piece of paper, chucks it in a hat, cup or another appropriate receptacle, and draws them one by one instead of cards. And there's something very charming about a pool of potential humor birthed in a shared mind space, except when people are playing something like The Celebrity Game, their brain isn't wired for creativity, their brain is wired for relaxation and fun. What I'm trying to say is that maybe leaving the job of on-the-spot game design to your mate Steven, who thinks it would be funny if you all had to mime borscht, isn't necessarily going to produce the best results. And I bet you're all like, Efka, borscht is hilarious. Is it though? It's literally just this gesture. Can't hear anyone laughing. Each card in the shut up and sit down nonsense box is ironically not nonsense. It's just masquerading as nonsense. These preposterous propositions are actually challenges requiring that same creativity we crave, but applied at the right time, when we're actually playing the game. This might be grumpy Efka talking, who had too many sessions of the celebrity game ruined by someone writing down something naff, or, sometimes even inappropriate. But when I play the shut up and sit down nonsense box, I can rest easy, because it's controlled fun. And we all know that fun needs to be put under control.
But ultimately we wanted to highlight this game because so far it's never failed. You don't even have to take the whole box with you, you can just pull out a stack of cards, put them in your pocket and go. I mean, there's nowhere to go right now, but you get the idea.
No matter what situation, every time I played the shut up and sit down nonsense box, I had a great time. It's a facilitator of fun that everyone enjoys. Even the most grouchy gamer has been won over by this little box of cards, and that's a heck of an achievement. If you don't have the shut up and sit down nonsense box in your collection, you made a terrible mistake and you need to immediately fix it.
The Pocket series will return next week, where instead of looking at games that are smaller in component footprint, we'll take a look at a game that has as many components as a Ticket to Ride sized box, but they've all been shrunk down. And if you want more No Pun Included while you wait, why not check out our podcast, or better yet, our Patreon, where we've got a newsletter that's always a good read, or an audio log with more esoteric board game musings. See you next week.
Bye bye. That was weird.
I liked it though, it was creepy and weird, I liked it.
Doesn't fit in my pocket.